The NFL divisional round happened, and to be honest, we got the worst options. Man, I wanted the Bears to win so badly. Anyways, comment below if you have any recommendations for videos I should do once the season ends, and let's begin. You see that's the first time a Yoshu intro has lasted less than 50 seconds. The Bills-Broncos game happened, and it did not disappoint, man. I mean, it totally did if you were a fan of either of these teams, but if you weren't, it was pretty crazy. I don't think I've ever seen both teams lose like they did this game. Don't worry, I'll get to that, but for now, I'll go over the game. At the start of the game, it seemed like the Bills might be able to take this. It just seemed like they had the advantage over the Broncos. However, on the same very drive, James Cook fumbled. If you're wondering, there is a lot more where that came from this week. Bo Nix was able to lead a big man touchdown to take the lead against the Bills after this drive. There was a meme going around before this game that Sean Payton was gatekeeping the playbook for 18 weeks and that this week he was finally not going to throw screen passes. And to be honest, it was low-key true. The Bills had to settle for a field goal after genuinely one of the worst drops I've ever seen. Dude, it's the divisional round. How do you drop this, man? On the next drive, the Broncos were able to take advantage of the Bills' shitty secondary and score a touchdown. What followed on the next Bills drive was honestly one of the worst plays of the week if the entire Texans-Patriots game didn't exist. As a result, the Broncos kicked another field goal. It's fine, Josh Allen. Everyone makes mistakes, and he does it again. Luckily for the Bills, the Broncos offense couldn't get past a group of first graders, and they have to take another field goal. And on their next drive, they are able to score a touchdown to make it a one-score game. Next drive, Bo Nix fucks it up, and the Bills get amazing field position. This was a very turnover-heavy week if you haven't been able to notice yet. Speaking of which, here's another one. But luckily for the Bills, nothing comes of it, and they drive down the field again. And this time, instead of fumbling it for the 9th time, they're actually able to score. On the Broncos' next drive, the Bills are able to lock in on defense and have to punt. And the Bills kick a field goal to end this drive to be up by 4. Bo Nix, having a pretty mediocre game up until this point, throws a dime to Courtland Sutton to keep their drive going. And then Bo Nix throws this unbelievable pass to take the lead with 50 seconds left. The Bills do get into field goal range with 50 seconds left, though, because losing in regulation wouldn't be enough heartbreak for them. The Bills win the toss, so the Broncos start with the ball, but they stall out and are forced to punt. The Bills, on 3rd and 10, throw the ball up, and Josh Allen throws an interception. And stop talking about it, Bills fans, this was an interception. Then the Bills receive 2 back-to-back PIs. Also, Tre'Davious White got unsportsmanlike conduct after the second PI because he yelled at the ref. But I feel bad for him, man. That is a bad place to be. After this, the Broncos kick the field goal and win the game. I understand Bills fans are mad and blaming the refs for this loss, but I have an even better idea. Maybe don't turn the ball over 5 fucking times. This was an awesome win for the Broncos. However,
on the second to last play in overtime, Bo fractured a bone in his right ankle. He's scheduled to have surgery Tuesday of this week.
That is so rough if you're a Broncos fan. I know I'm very mean to the Broncos on this channel, but to all Broncos fans, I truly am sorry. This game was not close whatsoever, man. It was a sign of things to come when the Seahawks started the game with a kick return touchdown. Pretty much from this point on, there was no sign that the 49ers were winning this game, especially when the 49ers fumbled in the first quarter. I think Sam Darnold was still injured, so they didn't make him do that much this game, but the rest of the Seahawks were just crazy. By the third quarter, the 49ers were already demoralized and just looked out of it. Literally, Sam Darnold didn't throw a single completion in the fourth quarter, and they still won by 35. The main takeaway of this game is how much better the Seahawks seem to be than any other team in the playoffs right now. This was a kind of hard year for the 49ers. They had no expectations to be this far, and there was no way they were going to beat the Seahawks in this game. What do you guys think will happen first? Me hitting 10 million subscribers or Kyle Shanahan winning a Super Bowl? I'm not going to go super into this game because I made a whole video on it already. I'll leave a link to it if you somehow want more of this content. But to be honest, I don't know if CJ Stroud is the guy for the Texans. This is his second straight awful game. I think there's 2 factors that play into his issue. First of all, in these games, he seems to just have absolutely no confidence and just isn't that good as a quarterback. And 2, I think D'Amico Ryans is amazing at defense, but he's not an amazing play caller. So if you're the Texans, are you choosing to either hire a new offensive coordinator or get rid of CJ Stroud? As for the Patriots, they literally have only one thing to worry about for the rest of the season. If Drake May holds on to the football, they can make the Super Bowl. Now, are they going to beat the Seahawks if they play them in the Super Bowl? God, no, but that's not what I'm talking about yet. I think Drake May is an awesome quarterback, and I think he's capable of doing some awesome things, but so far these playoffs, he cannot hold on to the ball to save his life. Finally, Bears-Rams. And what a tragedy, man. The game was played in wonderful 18-degree wintry Chicago. Caleb Williams started off his first drive with an interception to the Rams, which is always a great start. The Rams were able to capitalize with a touchdown. However, they were able to respond with a touchdown the next time they got the ball. Both teams kick a field goal in the second quarter, but were mostly just stalling out. Once again, in this garbage weather, both teams were struggling to make any significant progress. But then at the end of the third quarter, Caleb Williams throws an interception to give the Rams good field position. Luckily for the Bears, however, the Rams suck dick and stall out. But at the start of the fourth quarter, the Rams are actually able to drive downfield, and Kyren Williams scores a touchdown. With 3 minutes left on 4th and goal, the Bears had a chance to tie it up, but Caleb Williams low-key shat the bed. Don't get me wrong, I love the guy, but he didn't play that great. On 3rd and 10, back near their end zone, they get nothing done, and the Rams have to punt. And now with 50 seconds left and 1 timeout, Caleb Williams starts driving down. On 3rd down, he finds nothing, and then on 4th down, this play was for the season. Words cannot describe what then follows. I'm just gonna play the clip. This is one of the best plays I've ever seen in the NFL playoffs.
Command in motion. Williams drifting, sprinting for space. In all kinds of trouble. Put it up for Dixie.
A lame person might mention that Cole Kmet totally pushed off the Rams. However, Caleb Williams just threw a fucking step-back throw 40 yards to the back of the end zone with the season on the line. The Bears win the toss, so they elect the Rams to start with the ball. The Rams punt, so all the Bears need is a field goal, and they're going to the AFC Championship. At this point, all the Bears need are like 20 yards, and they're going to the AFC Championship, and Caleb Williams realizes he's a Bears quarterback and throws an interception. After this, the Bears stood no chance. They were devastated. The Rams kick and win the game. Was that devastating for the Bears? Yes. Did they deserve to lose after Caleb Williams had 3 interceptions? Also, yes.